Hello teacher, my name is Xuân Nghi, and today I am going to present the chapter 18, which the colleagues define debates over the macroeconomic policies. This chapter is the final chapter in the microeconomics. It does not focus on only one theories or one models. Instead, it discusses five important debates about how governments and central banks should manage the economics. Uh, let's try it. Uh, the main message of this chapter is that microeconomics policies is really simple. There is no perfect answer because every policy has both benefits and costs. Economics and policies makers often disagree not because one side is wrong, but because they focus on the different trade-offs. We will examine, examine, examine five key debates that shape the economics landscape today. As our first debate as should monetary and fiscal policies make a try to stabilize the economics. Supporters of the stabilizations agree that during recessions, when output falls and unemployment rises, the governments and central bank must step in. They can use the fiscal stimulus like the increasing the public spendings or cutting taxes or monetary stimulus like lowering the interest rate. And a recent example is the COVID-19 crisis, where governments use stimulus packages and central bank lowered rate to support the households and business. However, other the economics advocate for cautions that main controls its policy length. It takes the significant time to identify an economics problem, decides on the policies and wait for the policy to actually impact the economics. By the time the policy takes effect, the economy might already recovering on each hour. As is the case, interventions could actually lead to more instabilities rather less than. So this debate is really about actions versus cautions. The second debate is the should monetary policy be made by the rules rather than by discretions. Rules-based policies mean following a clear fixed path, for example, only targeting 2% inflections. This created the predictabilities and predictabilities, having the business and customer plans for the futures. On the other hand, proponents of the discretions argue that the economy is unpredictable, unpredictable, unexpected shocks like the financial crisis or pandemics require the flexibilities. And a fixed rules might to be reached to handle a sudden war or an oil price shocks. And we move on to the base number three. Should the central bank aim for the zero inflections? Zero inflections advocates agree that the inflections erodes the volumes of monies and mm, creates the uncertainty, making the long-term planning difficult. However, many economists believe zero inflation is not necessary and could be harmful. Reducing the inflation to zero often cause a short-term speak in their employment. Furthermore, a small amount of inflations, around 2%, acts, acts as the preferred against deflations, which is the dangerous situations where a falling price leads people to delay the spending. And the fourth debate is about the fiscal responsibilities. Should the government balance its budgets? Those who say yes are concerned about the public debt. Borrowing today places a burden on the future generations, and can quote out private investments by the raising interest rate. Uh, Opponents agree that the balancing the budget shouldn't be priority during recessions. And deficit spending is the vital tool to support the economics when pri- private spending is quick. Moreover, if the debt is used for the productive investments like the educations or the infrastructures, it can actually increasing the future productivity. And finally, we ask the should tax laws be reformed to encourage saving. Saving is the antithesis of the investments. When people save, more funds are available for firms to build the factories and improve the technologies, which drive economic growth. However, critics agree that these tax cuts primarily benefits the wealthy, who are who are more likely to save. They also worry that if tax revenue falls too much, the restrictions the government reflects might offset any increases in the private savings, meaning totals national saving doesn't increasing at all. This the classes debates between the growth incentive and fairness. And to conclude, chapter 18 teaches us that there is the rarely or perfect economic policies. Whether it can stabilizing the economies, setting inflation targets, or balancing budgets, every choice involves a trade-off. Rules provide a predictability, but these creations offer the flexibilities. The zero inflections protects balloons, but low inflections the protects against deflections. Balances purchase reduce depth, but deficits can fight the rejections. As further economics are informing citizens, our goal is to understand this trade-off to make better, more balanced decisions. This presence is based on the book's brief principles of the microeconomics, which provide a clear and concise introduction to the fundamentals concept of the macroeconomics. The books were written by the and Gregory Mankiew's, a renowned economics whose work has helped the millions of the students understand the economics through simple and practical explanations. And Microeconomics help us see the complexities of the world and the importance of the comparing costs and benefits carefully. That is the end of my presentations. Thank you, teacher, for your time and listening.